My name is Sarah. I am a current junior in the ITI major. I'm really interested in game design and going into it as a career. And my project for this semester is a game called Night Watch. It's a VR horror game, kind of in like a retro PlayStation 1 graphical style. I personally really love a lot of those kind of low resolution retro style horror games that are kind of more psychological than they are in your face. And I kind of wanted to try making something like that. I think what's been rewarding so far is seeing the progress that I have made and kind of realizing that like I can do it. You know, I can be a game developer, I can make games, and that's been the most exciting part so far, kind of seeing it slowly come together. It's been a long process, it's been many months, and there's still not a lot done. But there is some stuff done, which I think that I can show off. My game isn't really meant to be like a horror game in that things pop out at you and scare you, you know, like one of those haunted houses. It's more supposed to be about just the psychological part of it, and I also kind of wanted to keep it rooted in realism instead of having like supernatural entities or monsters. This is gonna sound kind of weird, but you know, this stuff that I'm gonna do in my game can happen to anyone. I think that's where I want a lot of the fear to come from, the fact that you can put yourself in the character's shoes and be like, oh my god, I could totally be in this situation. A lot of environmental storytelling, a lot of general ambiance in there. I'm doing a lot of work with environmental design this project, so I'm really trying to get the feel of the game right, get the sounds right, get the art right, get some nice models in there. I'm really working hard on the aesthetics of the game. Working in VR has definitely been an experience. I'd never worked in VR before this project. It's really impressive how user-friendly they've made VR. It's been really fun working with VR, and I definitely would do it in the future.
Hello everyone, my name is Kai and this is Kwa, my brother. We are working on a game together with me as a programmer, and he is our asset and art creator.
So our project was at first is a action roguelike with some deck building aspect, but then the scope was a bit too big, so we kind of zoomed it down to sort of like a card-based roguelike, but with some action aspect.
The core mechanic that we kept though was one that similar to Dark Souls, where you just go around and then just slaying things, and card games is a small aspect of it that makes the game a bit more unique. So we bounce the ideas back and forth, but the final project we decided to go with a theme where the character is the shadow, and the character will proceed through the level and trying to reach for the quote-unquote the light. But as far as the story goes, it's still underdeveloped, but that's the general theme for now. I guess the fun part of the project is how it turns out aesthetically. It turns out to be quite interesting looking, where I just kind of dabble. Well, Kwa is the main art lead, but there was just this one point where I just like, okay, I can't wait for him to finish the animation, so I end up like trying to do it on my own. So the spear turned out to be more of a brush than a spear, but it looked nice, so we ended up just keeping it in there. So that's probably one of the most rewarding thing and random thing that happens in the project.
And trust me, you guys gotta notice that. Okay, it's gonna stick out like sore thumb. So like, it's also always hard to get us both to unanimously agree what to add and what to cut out all the time.
We still end up, finishing most of the work harmoniously, hopefully.
But I don't know how far we're gonna go with this project, and if we do go as far as we are planned, then that's good. But if we doesn't, we will try to at least to have a complete demo experience for you guys out there.
Well, first of all, thank you for interested in our little project. Even though there's a lot of things we wanted to add and want to complete the game for, the state of the project is nowhere near complete, and I appreciate that you dropped by and observe and kind of like play through our little project.
Hi, my name is Caprice, and I am a senior at Rutgers, School of Communication and Information. My game is a board game. It's called Indominus. It was inspired by Jurassic Park and Jurassic World series. Basically, you will see yourself owning your own Jurassic Park. You'll be able to have your own dinosaurs. You will also be able to like make sure they have the correct security measures so they don't break out while running a theme park. In the middle of the 5 deaf islands, there will be a central warehouse where players will be able to basically work with the park's management, and they will be able to get food, dinosaurs, and security from it. You're not really fighting each other for the number 1 spot, but in fact, you're fighting for the number 1 spot in InGen's overarching capitalistic plan to just be the best, okay? There's going to be 5 phases, and the entire game is going to consist of rounds. And in between each round, we'll have like special unlocks. So unlocking dinosaurs, unlocking special events such as there's an outage of the park, or even the arrival of the Indominus Rex himself. There's also going to be an unlock of amenities, which I am currently working on. What I really wanted to refer to is a breakout chart that I made, which is like, it may be all fun and games, but you have to choose between playing it safe or being risky. Like, there is always a middle ground you can take, but it's always a chance that your dinosaurs will break out. Even though, I guess realistically, board games are more tangible, however, they're a bit more costly for fences, for just player tokens and coins. Yeah, the cost can rack up easily. The most rewarding aspect of this project is really coming together with a community that really loves dinosaurs as well. I grew up like not really being able to like really cherish dinosaurs the way I can now, and so making this dream come to life is just amazing to me.
Hi, my name is Maribel Chen. I'm a junior, and for my game design capstone, I decided to work on 2 kind of mini projects at the same time. The first one is called Vomiting Words, and it is a text-based interactive narrative that kind of shows off what it's like to live with an eating disorder in this modern day and age. The goal of it is to try to destigmatize the topic of eating disorders, because I've met a lot of just like normal everyday people, but also medical professionals for some reason, who have a very strange perception on how eating disorders work and how they affect people. Because it's not just about like, I want to be skinny and I want to be pretty. It's also something that follows you every day, possibly for the rest of your life sometimes. That's what it feels like. And I wanted to find a way to get that across, because I found that I was struggling to explain it, as I am now, through words. And when I realized that I could use games as just a form of interactive media to try to help explain that, I went, cool, sounds like a good idea. So Vomiting Words was born. A Duck's Life parentheses Are You Living is another text-based interactive narrative that I worked on for this capstone, and it's meant to express the kind of stress and exhaustion and restlessness that I have experienced and that a lot of my peers have told me about experiencing, and how a lot of it is just for some reason inexplicably tied to the college experience or the young adult experience. It's much shorter than Vomiting Words, and it's written in the style of like a children's storybook almost, but I think it does its job well enough in communicating that message, or at least I hope it does. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to come by and look at some of our projects.
Hello, my name is Leah Dubash, and my game's called Breakdown and Build Up. It was originally developed in my social impacts of video gaming class, and there it was a game that was addressing a social problem made in Twine, which is a text-based game development thing that's based off of HTML, so it's best for web applications. And the game that I initially started developing there was an anxiety simulator meant to increase empathy for people that don't suffer from the condition by taking them through that experience and providing potential coping skills or things and actions that may be detrimental and increase that state of panic. While I was initially doing the development for that project, I made sure to find credible medical sources to get all the accurate information and make sure that the coping skills that I was providing were vetted and actually helpful if somebody ever needed to implement them in their real life. And actually, after that semester was over and I had finished that version of the game, I got the opportunity to present on the intersection between medical studies and care and gaming. And through that process, I also got lots of really helpful feedback on the game, how to change it, how to make it more helpful to potential patients, just the general public, and also fixing some potential inaccuracies. And through that process, I also realized that I wanted to increase the scope of the game and make it a bit more action-packed, because originally it was a visual novel style game, very choose your own adventure, which was great for the purpose it served there, but I wanted to include like platformer levels in between to add that extra tension and feeling like you have the potential to maybe like fall off a platform or a cliff, as that's like sinking feeling is an often accompanying symptom of anxiety. And so with these changes during my time in the Capstone course, I worked towards implementing those platform levels and redeveloping the entire game in a new platform called GDevelop. Originally I was considering Unity, but GDevelop turned out to suit my needs better. And I'm just working towards making that product more polished and a bit more exciting for people to play that are not necessarily super engaged with the topic on face value.
Hi again, it's me, Maribel. I'm the one who directed and edited this. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. We really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoyed looking at some of our projects. And I also wanted to say special thanks on behalf of our entire class to Dr. Lucci, because without you, some of these things might not have happened. Probably most of these things wouldn't have happened, because you were there with coffee and donuts and encouragement and love. So thank you. Bye.